Welcome to the Draft Professor, everybody. My name is Jim, joined today by Easton, Butler of Green Bay Packers social media fame. Easton, it is your first Draft Professor podcast. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Excited to get to work here.
Yeah. So as you look at the Green Bay Packers, and the league year hasn't started yet. The NFL scouting combine begins on the day that we're recording this. But as you look at the Green Bay Packers off season, what is something that you think they need to address as they enter the draft?
Entering the draft, it definitely has to be cornerback. We haven't drafted cornerback prior to round 7 since I want to say 2020, maybe even before that. Definitely a big need, especially with Nate Hobbs not looking the part, and Keyshawn just kind of struggling towards the end of the year. Definitely need more there, especially depth. Defensive tackle as well with Devontae Wyatt with 1 year left on his deal. It's kind of question marks behind him, but we need a true, run stuffer as well. And then, of course, a backup quarterback with Malik Willis projected to make $30 million over the next year. So,
okay, well, give me a minute here.
Yep,
I'm retweeting the podcast. But from like the cornerback standpoint, Brian Maffey has made me well versed into, Green Bay has some pretty strict thresholds. Do
yes.
you tend to follow similar logic?
I try to, but I haven't looked crazy deep into the class where I will be like following that extremely strictly, because I hear from like other people there's certain thresholds, and then other people I'm friends with, they're like, it's even deeper than this. You got to look at this more. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, and I think Green Bay is one of the toughest teams to predict their draft. Like, to me, The Colts are among the easiest, right? And the Packers, whatever their guardrails are, people such as Brian Maffey try to figure it out, but Brian is usually more negative. He says, I at least know the Packers aren't drafting D'Angelo Ponte. He can't tell us what they will draft, but he can tell us what they won't.
Yep.
Right? The Packers are going to stick to their guardrails. So we're going to use the Draft Professor Simulator, and we're going to do Green Bay Packers second round Fanatic Challenge. So Green Bay only has a second round pick. They've traded their first round pick as part of the Micah Parsons trade. So a second round challenge is 10 unique 2-round drafts. That means Easton's only going to be talking about the Packers second round pick. There is no first round pick to talk about. But when the Packers get on the board at 52, Easton, is there somebody that you're hoping is there?
The cornerback from San Diego State, I believe his name's Chris Johnson.
Yeah, and he's off the board.
Is he? Then I would go Malik Muhammad. I do like him from Texas.
Okay.
But just massive fan of him mostly. Okay. I don't have crazy insights yet.
That's all right. And, I appreciate you telling me before the podcast, you are just now diving into the draft class. So the simulator starts a second mock draft. And in the second mock draft, it snipes Malik Muhammad before your pick. So you won't be able to take him.
Okay. Otherwise, I would like Julian Neal from Arkansas. He is a good one on there.
Okay, so we go Julian Neal. Okay, so and you're going to begin to notice a trend.
Yep.
So the simulator is immediately going to start a third mock. And in the third mock, Muhammad and Neal are sniped before your pick.
Then we go Jennings Dunker. He looks, and his name is perfect. You got Dunker, you got Quick Trip Dunkers. He loves Culver's, and he is a country boy. Plus, he's a beast on that offensive line. He's one of the guys I know a little of.
Okay, so and then in the fourth mock, Muhammad, Neal, Dunker are sniped before your pick.
Okay. Who else is down that board a little?
are there players or positions you want to look for? Because this
I would.
board is here
Yep.
because of anybody that's used the simulator before you. So this isn't a site board. This is a mock draft behavior board.
Got you. I would say Jake Slaughter, because center is a massive thing, especially with Elton projected to get released and Sean Ryan pending free agent. We kind of need one.
Okay.
And then we'd probably go right back to center. It would be the Duke center. I think his name is Brian Parker. Yep.
Okay.
So he can play multiple.
Round 2.
Yep. Parker can play multiple positions as well, from when I spoke to him.
Yes. And friend of the show. So Jerry Ostrowski podcast with Draft Professors. Jerry Ostrowski podcast with John Fina. John Fina's son is the left tackle to Brian Parker's right tackle at Duke. So
nice.
We have a lot of good intel on Brian Parker.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the next mock draft, Muhammad, Neal, Dunker, Slaughter, Parker are all off the board.
Okay. I do like Christian Miller there. I mean, Green Bay loves their defensive line, especially in Georgia. I believe we were, after Philly, the Packers had the second most Georgia Bulldogs players on their roster.
Ooh, see, and that was a fact. I had never heard that fact. I have been podcasting with Green Bay Packers people for years, and nobody has ever laid that level of intel on. So I'm going to be trolling them with that shortly. Okay. Okay, so in this mock, Muhammad, Neal, Dunker, Slaughter, Parker, Miller, all snipe before your pick.
Okay. 52. Let's look at more. Let's look at some offensive line. Bo Stevens would be good too. Yeah, I like Bo Stevens as well as from Iowa.
Okay, in round 2.
Yep.
Got it. That is, I think, you're the highest I've heard anybody be on Stevens there. So yeah. Stevens is like somewhere between rounds 3 and 5 is where most people have taken him. But I love the simulator will learn who you like. So absolutely love it. So Muhammad, Neal, Dunker, Slaughter, Parker, Miller, Stevens, all sniped before the Packers pick at 52.
Okay.
What would you do?
I would definitely start considering an edge rusher. A lot of people do have Rashawn Gary being released. But I do like Gabe Jacas. I know it might be a little early because I think his projection was like 3rd, but I do like him out of Illinois. Brett Bielema product.
I think this is where Akis goes. I don't think Akis gets out of round 2.
No? Okay.
He has, so what Akis has going for him is he has prototypical size. Mm-hmm. And while the tape may not be great, the tape is good enough. You're going to get pass rush juice day 1, and he has the body to play all 3 downs. So I think Akis is going to be round 2, definitely day 2, but I think it's going to be round 2, and there's going to be a flurry of edges that go off the board right around when the Packers pick.
Yep.
Okay, so if those first 8 players that you like are not available, what would you do? And I'm glad that you're laughing.
Man, it would be. I would definitely have to look for more.
And that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, who would be there at tight end? I know it's unconventional.
You have a Georgia tight end that's right.
Yep, I do like Oscar Delp. We can go him. It is. I know a lot of people probably won't like a tight end early, but Tucker is coming off a torn ACL. You got Musgrave, who hasn't really met his expectations. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did go tight end early again. But I mean, if you do that, you're kind of like letting Tucker, I guess, walk. But it's a giant question how he is doing rehab wise.
Okay. And this is your 10th and final mock draft of the second round challenge.
I would go Brandon Sissy. Theisty? I don't know how to say it.
Cisse.
Okay.
Yep. And that is Eli's favorite player. There was a reason he was at the top.
Okay.
Because Eli picked him a couple of times when I did this with him a few days ago. So, okay. So we talked about Malik Muhammad, Julian Neal, Jennings Dunker, Jake Slaughter, Brian Parker Jr., Kristen Miller, Bo Stevens, Gabe Akis, Oscar Delp, Brandon Cisse. Is there anybody on that list that is a favorite? Like, is there one of those players you like more than the others?
Either Jennings Dunker or Jake Slaughter.
Okay.
I mean, Dunker, I feel like it's maybe a little biased. He's country boy. You got, like I said, I mean, Dunker, it's perfect for sponsorships in Green Bay, but he is just a beast. He is not afraid to attack a challenge there on that line.
Okay. So that was the first exercise. That took us 11 minutes. We just did 10 2-round mocks.
Okay.
And I told you at the beginning of the podcast, we were going to be doing a few mock drafts. We just did 10 of them. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is the simulator has this button down here called Fanatic Mode. I'm going to turn that on and bump it up to 8. So this means I'm going to do 8 Green Bay Packers mocks. Each mock is going to be 5 rounds each.
Okay.
Okay. And Easton and I will not be allowed to select the same players twice. So
that'll be a little hard.
Yeah. So the simulator is going to learn who we like. It will snipe them in the subsequent mocks. And we're going to have to find 8 players that could be Green Bay Packers in rounds 2 through 5. So as we get to the round 2 pick, do you like the center versus the corner? Like, is there one of those that you say like Slaughter would be better than Muhammad or Muhammad would be better than Slaughter?
With cornerback such a big need, I would go Brandon over them all. But Slaughter would be nice too. Okay. But I'd rather go Brandon over Slaughter.
Okay. So we'll go Brandon Cisse. Okay, at corner in round 2. And then is center the first place you want to look in round 3?
I mean, if he would be there, yes.
So that's what we will do.
Yep.
And it's nice when you can pick the top player on the board. That means that basically the rest of the crowd is mock drafting against Cisse round 2, Slaughter round 3. Meaning there's no way Slaughter should drop past round 3 to Green Bay.
Yeah, no.
Right. So if you do Cisse and Slaughter in rounds 2 and 3, what would you do in round 4?
I do like Tim Keaton, Harold Perkins as well. I'd probably go Harold because Quay might be gone. And Harold Perkins, yes, I know he's kind of had a few down years since his freshman year, but he has a lot of potential. And he also had a formal meeting with the Packers last night.
Okay. And then round 5, after you go Cisse, Slaughter, Perkins.
If Muhammad is still there, I would definitely take him because that's amazing value to me.
Yeah, so he is not picked very often. So everything on this simulator is about users have to pick him. He doesn't get picked much. So right now he's dropping. But my advice to anybody watching the podcast is pick Muhammad more, and we'll see him move up the draft professor board.
Okay.
Okay, and then now we're in the next mock draft. And what it did is 8 picks before Green Bay is on the clock. Cisse gets sniped. So Cisse is not available. So if you can't pick Cisse or any of the players from the previous mock, you can't pick Slaughter, can't pick Muhammad.
Yep.
What would you
I would go Brian Parker then.
Okay. And it's nice when we're picking the top player on the board. It means that we're agreeing with other Packers fans. So if you're picking the top player on the board in this simulator, that means that everybody's in agreement as to who should be picked there. Right.
Yeah.
So if you go Brian Parker in round 2, what would you do in round 3? And would it be Dalen Everett?
I wish I knew more about him.
So Georgia corner, he's going to meet all the measurables.
Okay.
So this to me feels like a very Green Bay Packer pick.
I'd be okay with that. It was going to be him or Tacario Davis.
And then Davis would be another one. The question is, not everybody is day 2 on Davis.
Yep.
And I shouldn't say not everybody's day 3 on Everett either. So in fairness, I think Everett fits the measurables and maybe checks a couple more boxes.
Yeah.
But I think both Everett and Davis there would be good picks. So
okay.
In round 4, Harold was sniped before you're on the clock.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I do like Tim Keenan. He would be nice.
Okay. So this is Brian Parker, Dalen Everett, Tim Keenan. What are your thoughts in round 5?
I would like to kind of try to go for a tight end or more of just like a depth player. Nothing crazy for tight ends.
So I'm going to give you one. Round 5, I think Marlon Klein is going to check a lot of Green Bay boxes. Brian Maffey is going to have to check my math on this. This is a German player. He hasn't played football for very long.
Oh, so he's more raw?
He's raw, but he is probably going to test through the roof at the combine.
Okay.
And at minimum, you're getting a people mover at tight end.
Okay.
So he's already a plus blocker. The receiving part of his game has to catch up, but he's going to check. I think he's going to blow the combine up.
Yeah, we can go for him then. That's actually a pretty good move. Plus, shout out to Brian. Brian knows a lot.
Yes.
I like Brian.
Brian podcast with draft professors every Sunday night.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Jack is every Sunday morning. Brian is every Sunday night. And then Jake Shivnick podcast every Saturday and Sunday with draft professors as well.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're in the 3rd mock. In the 3rd mock, Cisse and Parker sniped before the Packers are up in round 2. What would you do?
Is Slaughter still there?
No, he won't be because we've already picked him.
Okay.
Simulators going to remove him from the pick list. We want to find new players.
Okay. Let's. Oh, I forgot about Jake Rodriguez. I really do like him too. Yeah, I go Jake. I know he had a really good year this year at Texas Tech. But looking at like other mock drafts last year, he wasn't really highly sought after until he broke out, I guess.
Yep. Okay, so you go Rodriguez in round 2. So in round 3, Tacario Davis.
I want to see if we can save him for like the next mock. I'd probably go Bo Stevens here.
Okay.
Still get the offensive line.
Okay. So then we're going to need, you haven't addressed corner in this one. So we've gone Rodriguez, Stevens in rounds 2 and 3. So you're thinking corner when the round 4 board comes up?
Either corner, maybe some depth offensive lineman.
Okay.
Green Bay is just really weird with how they do stuff.
So corners that would be of interest, Domani Jackson, and then further down the list, Ephesians Prysock of Washington.
Yeah. I do like Andre Fuller from Toledo too. He was a page before at the very bottom.
Okay.
I do like him. I know he is a little raw, but he would definitely come in. We could help him out there.
Rodriguez, Stevens, Fuller, and then we come up to a round 4 or a round 5 pick. Thoughts on, is there a specific position that you need to target?
Let's check out quarterback. Let's see who's available. Hmm.
Hey, Easton, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
cut this short. I just had an emergency come up.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yep.
I hope everything's all good.
Yep.